Every week, tune in, don't miss out on Zimwaves TV, where we talk and shout.
In recent weeks, a growing wave of criticism has been directed at Nelson Chamisa, the leader of the Citizens Coalition for Change, CCC. The most vocal among these critics include prominent journalist Hopewell Chinono, who is widely known as Daddy Hope, and the esteemed political analyst Ibo Mandaza. Their criticisms, echoed by various voices in both political and social circles, largely focus on Chamisa's perceived inaction and silence in the face of Zimbabwe's ongoing political crises. What makes this situation particularly paradoxical is that even those who have actively maneuvered to wrest control of the CCC away from Chamisa continue to look to him for leadership and guidance, expecting him to steer the opposition through the turbulent waters of Zimbabwean politics. This contradiction highlights a deeper, more troubling reality within the opposition movement, where Chamisa has often found himself surrounded by individuals driven not by principle, but by the pursuit of personal gain. The dynamics within the CCC, and by extension the broader opposition movement in Zimbabwe, have been significantly influenced by the presence of these opportunistic figures. Many of these individuals have sought to muscle Chamisa out of leadership positions, not out of a genuine desire to advance democratic ideals or to bring about meaningful change, but rather out of a pursuit of financial and political gain. These are people who are more interested in the appearance of power and the benefits it can bring than in the difficult and often thankless work of opposing a deeply entrenched regime like ZANU-PF. In many cases, these opportunists see the opposition as a vehicle for their own advancement, rather than as a movement committed to the long struggle for true democracy and justice in Zimbabwe. What is particularly alarming is how these individuals have been willing to derail the opposition's efforts if it means securing benefits for themselves. For them, the spilled gravy of political infighting is something to be lapped up eagerly, even if it means sabotaging the broader goals of the movement. These figures are not true believers in the cause of opposition politics. Rather, they are cynics who view it as the only viable alternative to joining the ranks of the looters within ZANU-PF. They understand that their opportunities within the ruling party are limited, and so they position themselves within the opposition, hoping to extract as much personal gain as possible. It is not difficult to imagine that, given the right opportunity, individuals like Gabriel Chaiva would immediately abandon the opposition and throw their lot in with ZANU-PF if it meant securing their own futures. Nelson Chamisa, for his part, has responded to this internal sabotage by stepping back from the more visible aspects of party politics, effectively leaving the field to those who have pushed him out. Yet, as these opportunists begin to grapple with the consequences of their actions, they are slowly coming to the realization that without Chamisa's leadership, their future prospects are bleak. The harsh reality is setting in. This may very well be their last term in Parliament if they continue down this path of disunity and internal strife. For years, they have thrived on the division within the opposition, using it to their advantage. But they are now beginning to understand that they have cut off the very branch on which they were sitting. The continued relevance of Nelson Chamisa is underscored by the fact that he remains a central figure in political discussions, even among those who have sought to undermine him. His detractors may criticize him for what they perceive as his shortcomings, but there is an undeniable recognition, even if only implicit, that without Chamisa, the opposition's chances of success are significantly diminished. Chamisa is more than just a political leader. He is a symbol of the opposition's potential, a unifying force capable of rallying disparate groups around a common cause. This potential for unity is precisely why Chamisa continues to be a focal point of political discourse in Zimbabwe. It is worth considering why Chamisa remains such a prominent figure in the political landscape, despite the efforts of some to sideline him. Chamisa represents hope for many Zimbabweans, hope that a different, more just, and democratic future is possible. He embodies the belief that, even in the face of overwhelming odds, there is still a chance to challenge and ultimately dismantle the authoritarian structures that have dominated Zimbabwe for so long. His leadership offers a vision of unity, where the opposition can come together to form a cohesive and effective force against ZANU-PF. For those within the opposition who have worked against Chamisa, the realization is dawning that they cannot succeed without him. Their attacks on Chamisa, whether overt or subtle, are ultimately counterproductive, as they weaken the very movement they claim to support. The opposition's success hinges on its ability to present a united front, and Chamisa's role in fostering that unity cannot be overstated. He is the glue that holds the various factions of the opposition together, and without him, the movement risks splintering into irrelevance. The sooner Chamisa's critics and erstwhile allies come to terms with this reality, the sooner they can begin to work together toward their shared goals. Unity within the opposition is not just a strategic advantage. It is an absolute necessity if there is to be any hope of challenging ZANU-PF's iron grip on power. The opposition's strength lies in its ability to come together, to set aside personal ambitions and grievances in pursuit of a common cause. Chamisa's presence is a reminder of what the opposition could achieve with effective leadership, and it is a testament to the enduring belief that in unity, there is strength. This is not to say that Chamisa is without flaws or that his leadership has been perfect. Like any political figure, he has made mistakes and has areas where he could improve. However, the focus should be on how the opposition can leverage his strengths and address any weaknesses through collaboration and constructive dialogue. The goal should not be to tear down a leader who has already proven his ability to mobilize support and inspire hope, but rather to build on that foundation to create a more resilient and effective opposition movement. Ultimately, the opposition's success or failure will depend on its ability to recognize the importance of unity and to rally around leaders who can inspire and guide the movement toward its goals. Nelson Chamisa is one such leader, and his continued involvement in Zimbabwean politics is crucial for the opposition's prospects. The criticisms leveled against him may reflect genuine frustrations, but they also reveal a deeper acknowledgement of his indispensable role in the struggle for a better Zimbabwe. It is time for the opposition to move beyond internal squabbles and to focus on the larger battle at hand, one that can only be won through unity, determination, and a shared commitment to the cause of democracy and justice.